Right, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to this week's Forex Market Weekly Outlook for the 22nd to the 26th of July 2019. Aspects covered in the review include evaluating how prices moved recently on multiple Forex markets, as well as highlighting potential bullish and bearish trading areas and target areas to be aware of during the upcoming week. Be aware that when I highlight a trading area on the daily chart, a trader can trade these areas on a lower time frame. Assets that have been covered in this week's outlook include the dollar, EURUSD, gold, NZDUSD, and AUDUSD. So we are going to focus on these 5 assets in our weekly review. Right, for those who have not yet joined my mentorship program, you can find more information about the mentorship by visiting our website, bullishfxconsultancy.com. I would like to thank you for watching and happy trading in the upcoming week. And if you appreciate the video, consider clicking the like button below. If you have any comments, you can comment below. I appreciate you all. Have a great trading week. For those who haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing on YouTube to get updates. Click the subscribe button below the video, and also make sure to click the bell notification button to get all updates. Right, so we are going to start with the dollar index. The US dollar dropped into the 96,300 area. As we can see here from the chart, dollar dropped into this area here, which is a great area of demand. That's a great area where price looked to push back to the upside, and it dipped into the demand area and rallied. Right, this analysis was highlighted to the mentorship group last week, and it yielded great results on our portfolio. It yielded great results on our portfolio for those that waited on the levels that we highlighted. In this week's review, I'm expecting dollar to continue with its bullish bias all the way to the 97,200 level, which is quite a strong supply area. This area is also a potential zone for bearish evidence in this market. Right, with the FOMC coming in probably 2 weeks time, end of this month, the moment we start seeing dollar keep pushing all the way to the upside, you must remember that it's repeating the same process that happened during the June FOMC meeting. I did highlight that on the channel on Facebook page. Towards FOMC, dollar was hitting strong supply area of 97. So the same process could, I'm not saying it's bound to happen, it might happen, the same process might happen. Dollar could be heading for the 97 supply area towards FOMC meeting, which will be sometime next week if I'm not mistaken. So we really need to focus on what the dollar is doing when market opens, whether it's gonna continue its upward move. If it does open below 96,800 price area, if the market opens below 96,800 area, then I'm expecting dollar to push down. I'm expecting the dollar to get weak. but at this moment in time there's nothing that is pointing to that bias. The bias is pointing to the upside. So a strong dollar is a potential in the coming week. I'm expecting prices to keep pushing to the upside, irrespective of this supply here which was created here. I'm expecting dollar to push to the upside, to continue with a bit of recovery, since it dropped quite massively last week. So it did recover all the way to these highs and then closed on Friday at an area whereby it can find resistance. You see this area here, dollar could find resistance and push to the downside, but that's going to be too obvious. You see, that's going to be very too obvious in the market. Nothing is that really obvious. So it's of importance that we wait and see Monday's trading, what the dollar is going to do, whether it's going to continue with its upward push or open below and push to the downside. So this setup is quite critical for our next assets that we are going to be trading. It's quite important that we get the dollar analysis correct. Now let's look at our next pair, which is going to be EURUSD. Right, highlighting the same this week as the previous review of this market. The $11.25 zone is a great area on this asset to look for bullish evidence in the market. Right, what I mean by that is this $11 area, this price area here, is the ideal area for you to start looking for long trades. So I'm really expecting Euro US dollar to push to the downside. Remember, dollar index, we're expecting it to push all the way to the 97 area. So when that is happening, then we expect the euro to push to the $11 price area, which is a great demand zone. This is a quite strong demand area. So when the dollar is pushing to the 97 zone, expect Euro USD to come into the $11 or $20 price area, which is going to be the zone that we should start looking for long opportunities all the way to the $13 supply level. I hope you understand what I'm saying. We're expecting Euro USD to continue with its push to the downside, the $11 price area, before we start looking for our bullish evidence in this market. So that's it for Euro US dollar. We're expecting market to push to the downside and then start looking for bullish evidence to the upside. But of course, this area is quite an interesting area. Euro US dollar can also find support there and turn to the upside. So Monday's trading becomes critical in the analysis. Now we are going to look at the next asset, which is most people's favorite in the group, and that is gold. Right, we had a very good move in gold last week. We managed to get quite a few pips from gold. We had 2 long positions on gold and 2 long positions on Euro USD, and that turned out quite well. So prior to market close on Friday, most of the gains were erased. Price pushed to the downside on gold. That means most of the gains were erased prior to market close on Friday. So now, what does that mean? Right, if you can see the way market pushed to the downside, 1450 price zone managed to hold, and with our long-term bias on gold being bullish, it means we need to highlight or to identify strong demand areas that are created during the upward rally. Remember, gold is bullish. We've got demand created there, right? There's demand here. We've got demand here. You see how price respects the demand area. So now, coming to gold, price rallied, created demand, rallied, demand, hold. There is a trade to the upside. So the same principle will apply now. We are looking to look for long positions precisely on the 1398 zone. This area here, I'm expecting price to push to the downside to the 1398 or 1395 price area. Yes, short term wise, we've got a demand area here, but market has got a strong demand here. You see, so the 1398 price zone is the ideal area to look for potential move to the upside, or the potential continuation of our bullish bias on gold. So 1420, 1480 price zone, it can be cleared out in an instant. Because if you look at gold, what happened on Friday, price dropped and potentially forming a base for another drop to the downside. Drop, base, drop. That's an institutional supply term that we use in the mentorship group. Drop, base, drop. So I'm really expecting price to drop on gold. With dollar running to 97, I'm expecting gold to push downwards to the 1398 price area. And when price reaches 1390, the late 1390s, then we start looking for potential bullish move to the upside. Of course, it can also find support here. Gold can find support at 10, but this now will only be determined with how the market opens today and how the Monday's trading session go. So if it does find support, which is highly unlikely considering we had this strong push to the downside, short-term bears in control of the market, we had a short-term bearish move to the up to the downside. So those bears there, they can't just be erased in an instance with a push to the upside. It can happen, but that will be because of fundamentals. But technically speaking, they should be in a position to hold for a while, and that means price pushing to the downside. So late 1390, 96, 97, 98 is the best area to look for potential bearish evidence in the market to go to the upside, to continue with our higher time frame bias on gold of market pushing to the upside. So that's it about gold. Now we are going to talk about NZUSD, which was a very good performer last week. For those that managed to continue long from the demand area, for those that managed to continue with their bullish moves from this demand area here. So NZUSD is in a bullish uptrend. Right now, price broke the 67200 and closed above. You see the 67200 price zone, this area here. Price broke and closed above 67200 price area. Is a very strong area that you have to take note of in the market. So now in the coming week, I'm expecting price to pull back into 67200. I'm expecting price to pull back into the 67200 strong area. And when price pulls back, we start looking for bullish evidence all the way to the 68400, or even all the way to 69200 price zones. So NZUSD, I'm expecting market to pull back a bit into the 67200 area, which is a strong, which has become a strong demand area in this asset. You can see here, demand was created from this price area here. There was a strong demand into the market, so I'm expecting price to push back to the downside to 67200, and then from there we look for bullish continuation to the upside. So that's much about it when it comes to NZUSD. Now we're going to look at AUDUSD. Same applies to AUDUSD. The same moves that happened in NZUSD, they're almost like a replica when we look at AUDUSD. But on this asset now, price broke the 70200 price zone. Price broke this area here. You see, price broke and closed above. A strong price push on Thursday to the upside, and then Friday market retraced back into the 70200 price zone. You see, so I'm really expecting market to test this area here. It can be the 70200 or the 7000 price area. That's when we should look for bullish evidence to the upside. We should start looking for our long positions to the upside on AUDUSD. So 7200 and the 7000 price zones, these are the areas you should start looking for long entries into the market on AUDUSD. So that's our weekly review, guys. We looked at AUDUSD. We're gonna be looking for potential bullish trades. Same applies with NZUSD. We are going to be looking for bullish trades. Gold, we are looking for bullish trades from the 90s, the late 1890s, 98, 99 price zones for bullish evidence. And then we looked at EURUSD. We are talking of the $11.90 price zones or the $20 price zones for bullish evidence into the market. And then AUDUSD, we really have to wait and see how the market opens, and we take it from there. I'll be highlighting this Monday afternoon towards New York Open, or just after New York Open. I'll be highlighting exactly what the dollar does, which in turn is going to determine how we are going to trade the other assets that we have discussed in this session. So thanks for watching this week's edition of the review. If you have a question, any questions or comments, you can comment right below. If you want to get updates from me and you have not subscribed yet, consider subscribing and make sure the bell icon is ticked so that you get instant updates in your inbox whenever I post our analysis and a review of the market. Thanks for watching, and happy trading. Have a great trading week. Thank you.